And then why don't you just tell us a little bit about some of the other big bands, Patrick, that you played in?
Oh, the Lionel Hampton Big Band, I was with him for on and off for 4 years. And then I did a 2.5-year tour with the Glenn Miller Orchestra. And then I was Maynard's last lead player for the last 6 years of his life, basically. So, and then several ship bands and tons of shows and things like that.
Right, and you've also done some lead playing for some big shows and recording artists as well, singers and even some rock bands, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's awesome.
Oh, the Leonard Skinner show.
Right,
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. And I performed at The Joint in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock Cafe with the group Heart.
Oh, okay.
It was the celebrity golf tournament thing that it's like a fundraiser they have I don't even know if they're still doing it, but they usually had every year back then.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, of course, Patrick is phenomenal classical player too. He was on Mr. Robinson's first CD, and that was done just a couple of years back. And you can tell us a little bit about that, Ken.
Yeah, that CD, I don't have a copy here, but it was called Festive Masterpieces for Trumpet and Organ, and it was done at another Catholic church. It's called St. Paul's on the Lake in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, and it's done on the great Wilhelm organ, and Larry Shibish was the organist, and it was my first CD, and it's got lots of solo works, but it's got lots of duets, and Patrick joined me for some of the duets, and then there's a piece at the end for 6 trumpets and organ, and I did 3 of the trumpets, and Patrick did 3 of the trumpets. It was really a neat experience.
You know what?
To do.
Kenny and I first met on a cruise ship, in a cruise ship band, and what's unique about that, after we've had our career, I think I played probably with Kenny more than any trumpet player, I think, because we do all these gigs together. I mean, orchestras and weddings and you name it, we do it. But the thing is, sometimes you find a musician in your life that you just match up with naturally.
Right.
You know, and it's uncanny when we play together. It's always easier to play. You know,
That's right.
like our vibratos are matched. We know exactly what we're going to do before we even do it. You know, we don't even know what we're going to do, but we do it.
And
So-
it just happens because I think we've been playing together for so long, probably.
Okay.
So, you know, it happens to musicians all the time, and I'm sure it happens to ball players and things like that. But when you find someone you really gel with that way, it really makes it fun, you know.
Right, and we've gone over in our show taking it to that next level in certain applications in our spiritual journey, and there's a significant element for you know, getting better at a lot of things, and there's a principle that I'm sure applies to you guys with trumpet playing, which is transference of talent. Sometimes you're around somebody great, and the greatness just kind of rubs off on you.
Oh yeah, I've learned more about classical playing from Kenny than anybody. You know,
That's awesome.
And I got a piccolo, and I learned about piccolo trumpet playing, and Kenny's been playing piccolo since, what, 14 or something?
Or 15, something like
Okay.
that.
And
I didn't even know what a piccolo was until, you know, I went to college. So.
Right, and piccolo trumpet playing has been in pop music and of course classical music for quite some time, and we did have a demonstration of Mr. Robinson playing some great piccolo solos, and so that's part of our show today. But Ken, can you just tell us the difference between like a trumpet and a cornet and a piccolo?
You got a piccolo trumpet, as if you hold that one up, Thomas, that's a normal B-flat trumpet.
Right.
And this is a piccolo trumpet, and it's actually an octave. It sounds an octave higher than the
Okay.
B-flat trumpet, but it doesn't make it any easier to play. In fact, it's harder to play.
Right.
You really got to be able to play up there, otherwise you can't play a piccolo trumpet. It's not something that you start on.
Okay.
You know,
And
but
to sound good on one is
the sound good is very difficult, and I always listen to the great Maurice Andre.
Okay.
That's what I've always listened to as a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you were fortunate enough to take some lessons with him too, right?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. In 1991, 91 or 92, spring of one of those years, I was at the New York Brass Conference in New York in the spring, and Maurice Andre was, of course, at the exhibits and hanging around, and we just sat around hanging around with Jerry Cap.